Hi, this is Debbie with the Food Prepping channel, and today I'm going to make what I call beef stew in my crock pot. So this is going to be a crock pot recipe. And the one thing that, if you don't know about crock pots, I love my crock pot. I'm getting ready to leave, and I'm going to have it on high for about 5 or 6 hours, and when I get back tonight, or whenever I get back, I'll check on it. And I really don't ever take the top off the crock pot, but maybe one time while I'm cooking something, because once you take the top off in your crock pot, it lets out, it takes 30 more minutes to build up the heat again in there. And one thing you need to know is you always put your vegetables in the bottom of the crock pot. Vegetables take longer to cook than the meat does, so you always start out with your vegetables. And what I've got here is, I've got about 5 pounds of potatoes. Remember, I got a big family that I'm feeding. I've got 2 pounds of carrots that have been cut up. I've got 1 red onion and 1 yellow onion, and I'm just using this red onion to get rid of it because it's been sitting over there for a while. So to me, an onion is an onion. Maybe not, but to me it is. And then I have 4 stalks of celery that I'm going to put in here. And then I'm going to use 2 cans of beef broth, and about a tablespoon of adobo seasoning, and then the salt that you want and the pepper that you want. And I'm going to cut up my meat now. I've got 2 different steaks. I've got a London broil and I've got a sirloin tip roast or whatever. And I'm trying to get my meats, to rotate my meats out of my freezer, and because I've got meats in my freezer that I need to use and then replenish my supply back. And so that's why I'm using 2 different steaks or whatever. And I'm not going to cut them up into, I'm going to cut them up into I don't know, maybe 2 by 2 pieces, something like that, somewhere around that size. And when I get to that point, I'll bring you back. Okay, I'm back. You can see the chunks of meat. These are pretty big chunks, and we're going to have some leftovers, but that's okay. Alright, I have 2 cans of beef, of just great value beef broth, and I'm going to put those in here. And what I should have done, now let me go on and do this. Alright, I've put 1 can of beef broth in there for right now. Then I'm going to put 1 tablespoon of adobo. Alright. And then I'm going to put I'm going to do a half a tablespoon of garlic powder. Maybe not quite that. I'm just, about a half of a tablespoon. Alright, so I've got that in there. And my cat's just going crazy running through the house. She just knocked over the gate. Well, he Just knocked over the gate. Alright, I'm going to put 1 tablespoon of salt in here. Only because it's a lot of meat. And a lot of people brown their meats, but I don't feel like you really have to do that. So I'm not going to be doing that. And, alright, now I'm going to do, let me take the top off of this. I'm going to put a tablespoon of pepper in here. Because we're just a pepper family. Alright, and now I'm going to pour the other can of beef broth over this and get these down inside here. And I'm probably going to add some water to this too. And you can see this is a lot of meat. I hope it's going to fit in here. I'm going to have to push the lid down tight. Thank goodness this crock pot locks the lid on. And I am going to, let me get this out of the way. Since this isn't, since I didn't salt the meat, I'm going to put a little bit of salt on the meat, just on the top of it. Now we will see if I can get this down on there. Yes, I can. Alright, I've got to plug this in. And I'm going to set this for, it's 12 o'clock. I'm going to go, almost 12 o'clock. I'm going to go, I'm going to do 7 hours on a temp of high. So, there we go. Now, well, I do have to take this back off because I am going to put another can of water in here. But there it is. This is going to cook in my crock pot for 7 hours. This will cook down a lot. But I am going to add one more can of, I'm going to add water to it. And let this cook for 7 hours. And when we get ready to eat, I'll bring you back. Okay, I'm back. And as you can see, I was going to put some flour in here and make it a lot, more like gravy. But I have this thing. I love this broth on biscuits. So I'm not even going to put anything on that. I'm just going to leave the broth like it is. And let me put this back in there. And here's my plate. And you can see there's the beef chunks. And this cooked for 9 hours on high because it was so much in here. So it is done now. And I want to show you, this beef is just so tender, it just falls apart. It's just, that's how it is with the crock pot. You can fix any meat in a crock pot and it just falls apart. So let me taste this and let y'all know how good it tastes. Mmm. Carrots. Love carrots. Potatoes. Get a bit of margarine on there. Mmm. This is a delicious meal. And you can see there's the beef, the potatoes, the carrots. Here's the celery. Here's some of the onions. Of course, they always get smaller. And this, y'all saw this was packed all the way to the top. So this is really, really good if you get a chance. You have a crock pot. You want to do something like this. This broth is really, really good on just putting it on biscuits with the beef. And so if you like this recipe, give me a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and you have a wonderful night. Bye.